All right, new job, new day of cutting, first day. Just got this little 661 all fueled up, ready to go. That's what I'm going to use down here this morning, and this afternoon I'll go back on the river, and I'll probably use that 880 right there. Looks kind of big through this camera, doesn't it? So we're back down here at Carthage. We're on the neighbor's track. We're going to start it today. He's got some pretty good walnut, and I'd like to try to, I'm just going to kind of work my way to him. I mean, there's some decent walnut out here on the hill, but he's got a deep draw back down here. Runs pretty much the length of his property. And actually, some of the last trees I cut on the first job down here, a couple of the real big ones were at the head of that draw, which was on his land. But down where the draw really starts to get kind of deep, this gentleman's got some really, really good trees. And like I said, I'm going to try to get to them today, depending on the heat. I was going to come down here and work a few hours, get a bunch of these on the ground, or try to. Then, like I said, this evening I'll go back up on the river and start trying to get a bunch more of those laid down, those bigger trees up there. So we're gassed and oiled, we're fueled, we're sharp. Got a new chain on to start the week. Always like starting the week with a new chain. Yeah, I know it's Tuesday. It's not really the start of the week, but I didn't do a whole lot yesterday. As far as logging goes, I had a bunch of other things I had to tend to. So let's go out in here, blunder around. I know they start down in here. We'll start getting these things laid down and put on the ground. Now, there's a few back over here we're going to cut, but we'll use the skidder to push them. And I think Dad's going to come with me tomorrow. Of course, tomorrow's the 4th. We're going to work. I'll try to have a good productive week. Let's see. Yeah. Right here's where they start. We'll start with this little fellow right here and his friend. And then, yeah, we'll go down here and see if we can get some of these thumpers on the ground in a bit. And we got several of these cut up here on the top side. A lot of these were hanging up this morning. Some pretty good trees, though. Pretty good trees. I'm always a little nervous walking under these things. Probably shouldn't, but I do anyway. That'd probably be the ironic twist to my demise right there. Walking under a tree I cut and get smashed. Yeah, I mean, some real good trees. What in the world was that? Pretty good log here, got some size to it, clean. I cut it off right there, then I went ahead and, of course, I meant to get that blocked off real good, but I didn't. But I cut another log out of that just to, because I hated to leave it. I don't like to waste anything. Got one hung up there. Just hung up everywhere down through here. Of course, right over there you can kind of see where I was cutting last week. Oh, I need to cut that guy there. It's a pretty good tree. I went up and got my gas and oil. So we're gonna make our way down over the hill. Now don't get me wrong, I'll come back and cut these trees too, but I'm pretty excited about getting down here and things creaking and popping. I don't like that. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about getting down here, and good Lord, that makes me nervous. I mean, still creaking and popping. But yeah, I want to get down here and cut some of these good trees. Those good ones just excite me. They've got some really good oak here on this hillside, but we're not going to cut it. They don't want to cut any oak, which that's understandable. Because they hunt this little plot here, and not only that, I mean, they burn wood in the wintertime to heat with, so they want to kind of keep their oak for their own use, which, like I said, that's fine, that's understandable. Even though, I mean, the oak market is doing a lot better now than it has been. But I never push that issue because there's not a whole lot of it, but there are some good trees here. So let's grab this thing and head down here in the draw. Whew. I mean, it's humid today. Heat advisories out for today. Again, they said here in southwest Missouri it was the 3rd hottest June on record. Very few days were under 90 degrees. And several were in the mid-90s and upper 90s. So what worries me, we still got all of July and August to go. So that's scary, thinking about all that heat. But yeah, I'm already soaked to the bone, my shirt and my pants. But we're down here in this draw. There was a kind of little group of 3 of these right here to start out with. They're, I mean, they're not super big trees, but they were really tall, really good quality stuff. You can see here, it's got some stupid cobwebs. They got some good wood in them, and as tall as they are, there will be some footage now. Like these here, they're all showing a little worm. That's all right. Like I said, they're still good logs, and they'll still bring really good money, even with the worm in them. That's a heck of a tree there, and it don't take many of those to add up in footage fast when you get to going. And they're just scattered down this draw. They just the main group of them started right here. There's a few here on the hill, but they mainly just run here ahead of us. Whew. I have to stop and take a break every now and then, kind of catch my breath. Like I said, it's there's just no air moving down here in the timber, so it gets hot in a hurry. Now these trees, I'm not topping them right now, because when we drag them out, what we'll do is we'll drag those tops and put them down here in this draw, and we'll cut them off there. That way we don't leave those tops on those hillsides. Just kind of a good way to bunch them up. But yeah, some really good sized trees. I mean, even looking through the camera here, you can tell they're pretty big, but you know the camera never does things justice. But it you can kind of get the concept. They're pretty good sized trees. We'll see if we can get a few more whittled down. This was a big one here. Cut really good. It's the best tree I've cut so far. It's a big log. It's a heck of a tree. I come in low on the front side there, as you can see. And I don't normally like cutting trees like this, just because here in this part of Missouri, you're always real prone to hitting rocks if you kind of try this little deal here where you get below the dirt on one side. But luckily we got through it this time and didn't get any rocks or anything, but we got her down. Sweat's pouring in my eyes. I think I can get 1 or 2 more, and that's probably about all I want for this hole for today. We're gonna get a congested mess if we're not careful, because I'd cut another big tall one right down here below this one, and it fell back into those other 3. Of course, this one here, like I said, this is a heck of a tree here. A heck of a tree. I'm just going to leave my gas and oil right there. I'm going to walk out of the 4-wheeler trail. Of course, the house is right there, so that's how I'm going to walk out when I go. And we're going to slip down here and see if we can get a couple more of these big boys on the ground. As far as falling the tree, one whole big limb had been damaged in a storm, a windstorm or something, and so it prominently leaned back this direction. And I was really hoping I could get it to go right in this hole right here and miss this ash tree, because I didn't want to destroy that ash. But I got lucky, and it tipped and went back in this hole across the road, which it didn't destroy anything here either. It was a good shot right through there. But the main thing is I didn't want to destroy that ash, that big ash tree there. So got lucky there. Let's go down here, See if we can bag us a couple more. Oh, round two. Hopefully we can blaze back through here. If we get stuck up here, we're in a world of hurt, which I don't think we will in the old trusty Toyota here. She gets around pretty good. They've had some rain up here. Yes, sir, they have. Got some mud holes full of water. We're going to try to bring the dozer in tomorrow night and start kind of, like I said, we don't really have to push anything out. We're just going to kind of widen this road a little bit because it's a good road. It's in good shape. It seems to be pretty solid from running up and down with the skidder with those big drags. But we're going to kind of widen it out so we can get the trucks back through here. Just kind of push some of this underbrush, you know, out of the way. But yeah, they've got a little rain up here sometime. That's a good thing about this Toyota. I wouldn't even think about, I don't care if it was, like even right now until we widen this, I don't care if it was dry as a bone. I wouldn't think of taking my diesel through here for nothing. But this little 4Runner, man, these things are so light, they go anywhere. Just don't, trust me, we've put this little Toyota a lot of places it shouldn't be. And mine here, when I bought it, it was lifted and had a brand new set of mud tires, which, I mean, I'm getting a little old for lifted vehicles, but I love Toyotas, and it was a good-looking 4Runner, and I just thought I had to have it, and man, it's really been a good one so far. This is my second Toyota 4Runner, and probably my 8th or 9th Toyota vehicle over time. They're good. I like them. They're good vehicles. I think they last forever. They run good. You can get around in them. And today I got me some bug spray because we're gonna go back here and bark a bunch of these trees, get them prepped, because these trees back in here are dirty. You know, all this gets underwater. Every bit of it does. So it just, the mud and the sand gets up in the bark of these trees, and it just makes cutting a nightmare. So we're going to get a bunch of these prepped and ready to cut. Then tomorrow night we'll definitely be up here. What do we got here? Something fell out of the, I'm assuming something fell out of the sky, out of the treetop. Get back in here. Talk about a paradise, man. And I actually met one of the landowners on the way out, and we sat there and shot the breeze for a little bit. He couldn't believe I was coming to work. I told him it was second shift. Man, it is. It's hot and it's terrible. You know, and this morning, you know, that by the time I cut those last trees coming out, man, I was feeling the effects of this hot weather. Heat index was around 106 today down there, and it's rough. Logging this time of the year is rough. It is rough stuff. It's dangerous, and I know that as well as anybody. And I'll be the first to admit I probably push a little too hard sometimes. I really do. That's in my nature, I think. I think that's Dad rubbing off on me because I've grown up and watched my dad just be just a mountain of a man. Honestly, like, just, you know, you go places and you hear people talk about your dad, you know, about just how hard he works and his work ethic and how he just does, you know, how he works is just uncanny. And so it's a lot riding on your shoulders, you know, because whether people expect it or you expect it to yourself, you got to live up to that too. And that's what I try to do every day. So yeah, I tend to push it too hard sometimes. So right back here is where we were cutting the other day. We're just going to park right here because I think we can get turned. Actually, let's go ahead and just get turned around. I think we can pull up here and back in there and get this little 4Runner weaseled around here. We ain't going any further because some idiot, that idiot being me, didn't blade that road out real good. I'll do the old Austin Powers 150 point turn here. Make sure we're not backing into something. I don't want to crash up my war wagon here. A lot of good timber out here to cut. A lot of good stuff. But yeah, it makes it nice when you can work for great landowners like this up here. I mean, these guys are so great. They're great. They're understanding. Everybody wants to work together to achieve a common goal, and that makes it nice. Let's hose down the bug spray and go bark some trees. Well, amazingly enough, the bug spray seems to be working, and it's not too stout. It's got a lot of DEET in it, but I'm not so sure a guy doesn't need a gasoline bath before he works up here. A little history real quick. This is the old Maridazine River. And it still flows water. Of course, it's mainly a swamp now. And I don't know the exact history, but the reason they had the Bates County drainage ditch was to straighten out the old Maridazine River because it was real crooked. So, yes, there's still quite a bit of water that flows down through here. But you get in places, I mean, look at the size of this maple. This is some really good maple up here. That's a hog right there. That is just a beast of a maple. Uniform. If there was like a veneer soft maple, I think that'd be it. I think that'd be him right there. Pretty good bur oak up there. We got bark. We're just kind of working our way down through here. Big cottonwood there. We'll probably cut that old boy. Another big cottonwood above him. Yeah, that's just pallet wood. A lot of footage there, and that's where you make your money cutting this stuff. It's like there's a coon or something. It's met its demise here. Man, these mosquitoes are something else. They're just hovering around me. They're not biting, but they're hovering around me. You can't stop for too long. Can't do it. Well, let's see if we can get on to the next. Kind of work our way up through here.